again, we welcome you to the program Know Yourself. Today, again, we want to continue with our series in Biblical Dating and Courtship. I'm sure you've not forgotten, we have tried to explain the concept to you and also giving you why people neglect this important stage in their life. Today, we're going to talk about stages of relationship. As we established the last time that we spoke to you, we have mentioned that whether you are dating or you are courting, it is a matter of semantic. But even when we try to distinguish between the two, they are all relationships that could lead possibly to marriage. And so we then want to travel you through the stages of relationship because they are all relationships. Of course, not to point out the obvious, but every relationship shifts and develops over time. The way we relate to our parents, our friends, and yes, our romantic partners, if you like, moves through distinct stages as bonds are formed and then tested. Every relationship, such as what we are discussing, that is dating and courtship, goes through stages. Of course, 5 stages have been generally identified and accepted by most marriage counselors to give the treatment of this topic. Honestly, we will just simply take you through what goes on within the stages. There is the need for all of us, as we try to follow the stages, not to forget to observe all the stages. If one tries to avoid one of the stages, problems may develop in the relationship, which may result in ending the relationship. When you recognize what stage of dating the relationship is in, you would understand what is called for or need in order not to move through that stage and onto the next stage. It is normal and common for partners to be in different stages. That is very important because as we come together, I may have some high expectation and maybe you have taken it cool. So people may have, partners may have different, meet at different stages. When this occurs, required patience and understanding are necessary. And so stage 1, some authorities call it meeting and others call it friendship. Now, looking at this stage from the friendship standpoint, it springs from a friendship between 2 members of the opposite sex. At this point, individuals are attracted to their potential partners. This is their initial attraction. They have the hope that the feeling is mutual, that the timing is right, and that they will have an opportunity to explore the possibilities. Now, one authority by name Laurie Goshaw, looking at this stage from meeting standpoints, also posits that the purpose of this stage is to determine if there is enough chemistry, commonality, and interest to warrant dating itself. So it is a period of you trying to explore. For some people, it may take a couple of meetings to determine if they want to date a particular person or not. What is needed here is to come across someone who is interesting and fun to be with. So that is the first stage. Stage 2 is what we call dating itself. Stage 2 is the romantic stage and usually lasts for 2 to 3 months. It tends to progress, as I will share with you. People often describe this stage as feeling physically attracted or infatuated with the other person. Because 2 people are having fun and really attracted to each other, they tend to overlook those cute idiosyncrasies of their partner in order to focus on the strong attraction and the positive feelings. At this level, you don't take much interest in trying to find the person's fault and all that. You just focus on the positive side of that individual. Now, from this stage, which we call either meeting or friendship stage, we then move to yet another, the dating itself, as we are discussing. Dating itself is also subgrouped into 3 areas. We have casual dating, we have special dating, and we have steady dating. Still on stage 2, we talk about dating. That we may have casual dating, we have special dating, and we have steady dating. Now, this involves, if you talk about casual dating, it involves no special emotional involvement. You date for the pleasure of having something to do and some place to go with a member of the opposite sex. So that is casual. You are interested in getting someone. During this stage, the two of you want to spend increasingly amount of time together from direct and indirect contacts. So either you meet face to face or through WhatsApp and the social media. You can use all of them. This necessary and positive step gives you the chance before you become emotionally involved to get acquainted with members of the opposite sex and understand how they react to life. Now, from casual, you move to what you call special dating, still on stage 2. This requires a limited degree of emotional involvement. It occurs when a boy and a girl who secretly love each other could hardly express it. When it chances them to meet during an occasion, both use such an opportunity to express their love, making it known to friends. And then you come to the third aspect of dating, which we call the steady dating. This means that 2 young people commit themselves to date only each other. So at this time, you have moved through to this very stage and you have decided to date one and only person. At that moment, you have agreed. The depth of emotional commitment will vary though with the two. Some take steady dating seriously and form long-lasting relationship. As I said, from Nancy's definition, when you are dating, it can lead to love, it can lead to courtship, and possibly to marriage. So at this point, you are now emotionally involved, and it can have a lasting relationship. Others use their relationship as a means of security, so they will never have to attend a function alone or appear dateless, at least just for the fun of it, for people to see that they are also dating. Then after the stage 1, stage 2, then we move to stage 3, which we call, some authorities will call it differences, and others will call it engaged to be engaged. So as the name is, differences, it is a relatively new term applied to the period between going steady and becoming officially engaged. So going steady and becoming officially engaged. Honestly, 2 young people who have gone steady for some time begin to talk in terms of a permanent relationship and make tentative plans towards marriage. The understanding is private and personal and not final or binding. They make no formal announcement, set no wedding date, and prepare no wedding plans. They do, however, plan to get married and talk of a future time someday when they will get married at this very stage. Now, as we have mentioned, differences stage. During this period, the 2 tests and retest their values, goals, and future plans. So you will know whether the person is compatible with you or not. So you test and retest your values. What are your goals? What are the person's goals? You match them with yours, and then to see where you will be heading to. Much of what engaged couples usually discussing, they now open up to scrutiny. At this time, you scrutinize. It's not like the first stage where you just brush over certain things. No, you scrutinize whatever you see about the other person at this stage. The approach offers several advantages to the to-be couple and should reduce the number of broken engagements thereby making the engagement period more meaningful. So at this time, you are not just blind, you are opening your mind and you are observing everything about that opposite person. It also can't take the pressure off, thus not forcing them into a premature relationship. It allows a person of time for an in-depth look at whether their lifestyles and personality would be compatible for marriage. So that is the period. Now stage 4 is called Independence and Interdependence. Some also call it the engagement proper. The stage 3 is preceding engagement. This one is the engagement proper. In engagement, the to-be couple commit themselves to marriage by exchanging, at this time, some people exchange some symbol that binds their commitment to each other, either some rings or something. At this time, I give you promising ring and all that, just to assure you that I'm there and you are there for me. It is at this stage that the to-be couple learns how to be a couple and still maintain a level of independence within the relationship. For most couples, this stage begins to show up after the couple has been dating for longer, at times than 6 months. So you don't just rush into exchanging symbols and all that. You would have taken your time to study that individual to make that decision. During this period, the couple begins to incorporate their previous social relationships and interest into the couple relationship. For some people, the fear of their partner at this time wanting to socialize without them triggers feelings of insecurity or fear of an imminent ending to the relationship. If the partner with the insecurity does not address his or her own issues, the result may be an unintended breakup. They also at this time publicly announce their intentions of personality and establish a time for planning the wedding. So as I said, this engagement period, you have come long way to merit the marriage itself. So when you're talking about courtship, this is the time people think then we are courting. Then we come to the fifth and the final stage, which is called healthy commitment. The fifth and final stage is marriage. You have moved through, you have been engaged, and now you come to the marriage proper. Marriage is supposed to follow the engagement stage. This is where both man and woman agree to either enter into a permanent relationship as a couple. And so once you come to the fifth stage, it means you are mature. You have considered and reconsidered, tried and retried, tested and retested. And so now you have to commit yourself into the marriage itself. So this is the stages as we have to come to the end of marriage itself. Thank you so much for your time. We hope to share more on dating and courtship with you. Follow us by subscribing, pressing the bell, share, and also let's receive your comments so we can serve you better. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.